Hello, my name is RJ. I'm gonna be one of your FPS players today, and I am joined by the fantastic, the wonderful, the I'm going to kick them in the ass.
Vwild! Hello, everyone! And yes, my ass is apparently very kickable.
Gods. So, Lynn has had a fun few weeks.
Woo! Yes, always delightful. At least she's been doing good on cases. But sleep, who's that? Also, mental health, who's that? We don't know them.
Well, Lynn's gonna fucking find out, cause after the events of Tangled Strings, of which there will be spoilers for that, by the way, um, yeah, you ran away from home, and then that happened, and then you were like, I want to go home. This actually sucks.
Yeah, having a few mental breakdowns and finally going, you know what? Yeah, okay, pick it. Time to go home. Because she's missed home. She's stayed away because she thought it was necessary, but she has really, really missed home.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say that's fair.
And
So,
yeah, when going home, their network, the wonderful darling, did put Lynn into a tornado on that front. Because yeah, you think that everyone else is worried? Yeah, her house knows her. Her house has been worried sick. There has been a lot of mental screaming on the house's front.
I think that's very fair, to be honest. There's gonna be more screaming in a minute in there, cause,
Yeah,
uh, to it, you get back to network, you say hi to network, and apologize. At least I hope the fuck you do.
yes, she does apologize an awful lot. There is going to be a lot of apologizing and dealing with stuff. Network's going to get some new shiny things probably. Network
That's,
likes shiny things.
that's such a mood. But yeah, so you then use the key that was given to you to head to your other home, Cobb
Yeah.
Mansion. You want to tell the audience what you rolled on your not instantly crash the fuck out roll?
Yes, I tried it twice just to see what dice past the thought. We got a nat one both times.
Yep. So I think what happens is you you get to Macabre Mansion, you open the door, you walk into the foyer, and
Hmm.
Jacques comes in like Asclepius, is that? And then just freezes looking at you.
Yeah, and Lynn does look a sight. I mean, she hasn't got her waistcoat on for once. She's actually got that in her hammer space, and she's wearing a new scarf and a pendant, which is strange. And but she does just look up at Jacques, and yeah, she actually relaxes just a little bit, and there's a smile, and she just goes, "Hi, I, I'm home." And she sways, and she actually falls forward because yeah, adrenaline and coffee have finally gone out, and she's somewhere safe and warm.
So I think the last thing you see before you pass the fuck out for the next day and a half is the split second of pure panic on Jacques' face as he literally tosses his cane aside and throws himself forward to try and catch you.
Oh, pick!
So I'm just
Oh
gonna I'm
dear.
just gonna have him roll a quick dex check to see how successfully he manages that. Does he have a skill that really fits? No. Okay, so just standard +5. All right. D20 +5. 13. All right. He does manage to stop you from cracking your head against the floor, so that's all right. Um. Yeah. So you wake up in a different situation than you passed out in, much softer situation, because you're in like the biggest bed you've ever seen in your life, and it is soft as hell, like the softest thing you can imagine.
Oh, she is not used to that. She is really not used to that. There is a double blink on that front when she does wake up because yeah, I mean, she's every now and then nodded off with Rye because she likes keeping the kid company and making sure he gets sleep, and then does every now and then end up like that. But her bed is, well, not actually a bed. So there is just the what's the pick?
You want to go ahead and roll a perception check for me?
Yes,
I
I
think this
do.
one is still at disadvantage because I think the second level of exhaustion is half your speed. So you are still
Mm-hmm.
at one level of exhaustion.
Yep. Now let's see. Perception. Ah, +3.
17
Still pretty
plus
good.
3. Dirty 20 at disadvantage. Alright, cool. So, yeah, so you do manage to spot everything. You look around the room and suddenly you realize why the bed is so big and so soft. You're in Jacques and Asclepius' bedroom. There
Oh,
is...
holy pick.
It's... Unlike the rest of the mansion, which has this kind of Victorian Gothic horror aesthetic, this is pretty average looking. The walls are a kind of an eggshell cream color with wooden paneling that goes about halfway up. The bed itself is like you know the beds in the dormitories in Harry Potter. That's like the best
Mm-hmm.
description I can think of, like that. But it's all in pleasant mahogany. The actual bed and the sheets themselves are a pale gray. Um, they're also silk. And this
Oh.
mattress is like down if it had the kind of consistency of memory foam. Um, there's bedside tables to either side. There's what you assume is some kind of walk-in wardrobe on the far side of the room, like opposite the door. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Fairly average looking room. Except for the fact there is a chair pulled up to the side of the bed with uh a very sleepy looking Firbolg who is now rousing himself, having heard you murmur under your breath with his passive perception of 20 fucking 3. So he like sits up a bit from where he's been passed out, like leaning forward against the bed, head pillowed in his arms. Like sits up, rubs at his eyes, takes a moment to blink, and then you can see the moment he realizes you're awake, because his ears perk up in as far as their floppy selves can, and he immediately sits upright and goes, Lynn, you're awake. How do
Uh,
you feel?
uh, fine. I think. Uh, how long have you been? How long have I been here? And oh, holy pick. Okay. And Linny's just realizing because yeah, silk sheets, claws, not a good thing. She has tucked her claws to her chest. Is just like just getting up, and she's more concerned with this guy because yeah, sleeping like that's not good for your back.
He's aware, he's like absently rubbing at it. But you will notice as you pull your claws into your chest, they've been your hands, and you can feel them on your feet as well. You know those like silicone tips that you can get for cats so that when they walk around they don't scratch your floors? Those. You're
Oh, that
wearing
is.
those.
Liz is actually quite delighted at that. She hasn't been able to get those before.
Perks of
She
being
does.
in a town with a bunch of werewolves as part of the population.
She actually does do the little tap tap of her fingers together just for a second because as she realizes that, that's just like that's cool. That is useful.
There's a kind
Yes,
of muffled chuckle as he finishes like probably waking up.
this monkey is very easily distracted. Well, monkey wolf.
Mm. So yeah, so Asclepius chuckles a little bit and goes, you arrived yesterday afternoon. It's now about and he will like just lean past you slightly to take a look out the window. And he goes, it's about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon now.
Holy pick! Okay, I do. I've I've not slept that long in. Wow. Okay, that is probably a new record for me. That's huh.
Yeah.
Have you been here all this time?
No. He gives it like kind of a little stressed giggle. Rakes a hand through his hair. Um, no. Jacques and I have been trading out. He's currently downstairs actually. Just give me a. And he gets up from the chair, goes to the door. Um, leans down, like walks through it, like halfway into the next room. You can see like a fur, not fur, a shag pile rug on the floor and like part of a couch. That's all you can really see from your angle. And you hear him call for Jacques. And there's a clatter and a bang, and someone sprinting upstairs.
Oh, holy pick! Oh yeah, that's kind of alarming because it's like she didn't want these guys to worry, and now they are all pick. She has sat up fully in the bed now because it's like, no, no, no. Okay, yep, we're worrying people. Pick it. Failed step one.
Asclepius casually just walks back into the bedroom, holding the door open for Jacques to almost fall through fall through, balancing one hand on the door frame, the other hand on the top of his cane, like, Lynn, oh, you're right, yes? Yeah, it's quite the scare. And you can see he's not wearing his jacket. He's not wearing his top hat. His shirt is untucked on one side, and there is like a smudge of some kind of powder on his cheekbone. You think you can suss out he's been cooking.
Yeah, Lynn's just very much on the don't fall over. She's like, I'm fine. Hi. I'm fine. uh, sorry, I didn't mean to. Yeah, pick it. I probably should have had a nap before I came. Sorry.
You are getting the no shit Sherlock look from Asclepius in like the best way possible. While Jacques quickly stands up, like brushes himself off, tucks his shirt back in.
Yeah. The hilarious thing is, Lynn has actually forgotten about herself in this moment, and she is just checking on these guys because, yeah, like one has been sleeping in a rough position, one almost fell over. She has completely forgot about herself again. This goddamn monkey.
They
I'm just
do
gonna...
they do twig that, actually. There is a brief look exchange between the two of them before they both walk over. Jacques takes the seat this time, while Asclepius kind of stands behind him, elbows resting on the back of the chair. And you realize now it's one of the chairs from the dining room downstairs. You recognize it from the dinner party that you had the last. Well, I say the last time. The last time that the entire group of the six of you were together.
Yeah. Lynn will have come by a few times at least because this place is comfy.
Very valid.
It is home.
Yeah. Uh, so I think there's like a brief moment of awkward silence as everyone tries to figure out what to say before Jacques and Asclepius exchange another look, and Jacques leans forward slightly and does take one of your hands between his and goes, "We didn't want to push for information before, but well, we were worried about you."
Oh, yeah. Eh, sorry about that. I didn't want to worry you guys. Uh, how have you been since we last talked? You guys all right?
We're doing quite well, actually. Not much has happened on our end. We saw
Well,
you in the news sometimes.
oh, that's good. I've been keeping busy myself. Lots of cases. Picking lots of cases. Really good progress on cases, actually. Yeah. And there is that very awkward shuffle, and yeah, she has plopped the hand, and for once, she's not actually shirking away from it. I mean, she is still mindful of her claws, but the claws are capped, so it's actually okay. She likes it. It's Jacques.
Hmm. There's a brief murmur between the two in what languages do you speak again?
She speaks, let's see, Common, Grawlix, Network Speech, and Giant. Wait, when did she? Yeah, she's got Giant as well.
Okay. Alright, well there is a brief murmur between the two in Grolix. Um go ahead and just roll go ahead and roll a perception check really quick.
At disadvantage, or
Yeah,
in fact,
yeah,
actually,
because you
she
still
has
got the point of
heightened senses.
yeah.
So because she has heightened senses, that'd make it straight, seeing as
Yeah,
she
so
gets
flat
advantage
roll
on
then.
those. Yeah, perception 11.
Okay. You don't quite manage to catch what they say. Um there is a sort of nod between the two, and then Jacques goes, Rai has been here a few times in between. He's definitely very worried for you. Have you talked to him at all?
Ah, Peck the kid. I left him in Fremore with the. Oh, well, yeah, he would come back. I mean, he's a good kid, and Network loves him as well, and that would actually explain some of the comments Network made, mainly, well, after I got thrown around a bit. But I haven't talked to him yet. I didn't see him yet. Maybe he was out, or I'll check later on. I'll figure something out on that front. Peck, I didn't mean to. Holy Peck, I didn't mean to worry the kid. I'll figure something out.
There's another look, and then Jacques absently pats your hand slightly as he tries to figure out a polite way to put this. If you don't mind my asking, what did you intend to do?
Then actually pauses at that, and then she looks thoughtful, brow furrowing a little bit as she tries to figure out how the heck to word it, because her brain hasn't exactly been thinking too great. And she goes, I wanted to sort some things out, and I figured the safest way to do that was to put things in order.
Oh, so.
Um, I had some work I needed to do, figure some things out, and well, my line of work is dangerous. As so I needed to sort things. I needed to fix some things. I needed to handle something. So I did my best to make sure all of you guys were okay. I don't think I did the best job at that though, but I'll work on it.
Roll insight.
Save.
'Christ.
Hey,
24. Okay. So, you know these two. For all that Jacques wears his heart on his sleeve, he is surprisingly good at masking his emotions when he needs to. And for all that Asclepius is rather naturally stoic, you've learned how to read his tells. They both look almost hurt
Oh, Pick.
as you say, I needed to take care of things. And Asclepius goes, You didn't think you could come to us for help?
Oh, holy Pick. Yeah, she's clocked the hurt, and there is. Yeah, she didn't want to hurt them. Oh, Pick. No, 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 no. And she goes, um, it's less that than. And she does slightly curl in on herself, and her tail does curl around her legs as she does get a little bit closer, and she just goes, "It got worse. I got worse. I I didn't want you guys to. I'm sorry."
You see the understanding and the empathy flash across their faces as they realize what you mean. And Jacques just squeezes your hand again and goes, My dear, we can handle it. We can handle you.
I didn't want you guys to see what's been happening. I mean, I'm it. I'm shifting more, a lot more. It's been getting harder to control, and I mean, I used to shift outside of combat about once a month before, and it's been happening more, a lot more. And I've been combating it. I've been fighting it for a long time, and but I haven't been able to get my potions in a while because, well, there was an incident with all of that, and turns out the doctor wasn't actually a doctor, so that had fun situations there. And I've the other things that I've been trying to do, they weren't working as well anymore, and the coffee really wasn't helping anymore, and I didn't want any more things to go wrong. I mean, lots of things went wrong. So many things went wrong, and I can't control it. I can't. I don't know what to do. I I don't. I don't want you guys getting hurt because of me. Because Peck and Hick, this stuff is getting out of control.
By this point, Jacques has fully pulled you like onto his lap into a hug. Asclepius has moved round to crouch and hug you from behind, and they're just like, "Oh, oh dear, oh my dear."
She's full on curled into the grip. It's just like, yeah, she is just curled up. She's she's really missed hugs. She hasn't let herself have hugs, but her hands are clutched close to her chest, but she is fully leaning in, and she goes, "I I tried. I've really tried. I've tried everything. I have tried so many things. It's 5 years. I have tried so many things. I mean, I'm pretty sure I pecking almost ruined myself the first year. I mean, I tried a lot of things that you probably shouldn't try, and mixed things you probably shouldn't mix. But hey, we learn from those things. And I mean, I've got things that work, but I couldn't exactly go back to the room while I was on the run. Because I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
You don't need to apologize to us. We get it.
It does take. Lynn is actually shaking in your arms.
Yeah, the two of them are full on like sandwiching you between them. It is comfortingly tight, and it is warm, and it is soft, and it is the best hug you think you had in years potentially.
Yeah. Lynn does hug some people. I mean, she's hugged Rye on occasions because that's her kid, that's her boy. But being hugged like this, yeah. Yeah, that's 5 years at least. And she just stays in that. Just eventually the shaking does just abate just a bit. And there might be a just a little bit of a rub of her palm on her face, just yeah. She's trying to get her composure back.
Oh, love. They do hug until you stop shaking so much.
There is
Then
one thing they can notice because they are hugging her so tight. Do they want to make a medicine check or perception? Either one.
okay. Well, it's the same modifier either way for Asclepius. Jacques doesn't have medicine but has perception. Okay. 20 plus 8. 20 plus 6. Come on, Jacques, do better. That's better. Okay, so it's
Yeah.
an 8. It's a 13 medicine check from Asclepius, but a 20 perception check from Jacques.
Jacques, Lynn is perhaps because she's in your lap. She's light, incredibly light.
Oh,
Not
no.
not to the point of being underweight, but you can tell that she has been eating as much as she needed to, and that was it. Which is kind of surprising, seeing as you know she does cook a lot. And Asclepius might notice just vaguely that her fur, it's still coarse. There's now a bit more softness to it, but it's still frayed even as the softness comes back.
They
She's she's not been doing good, guys.
they do share a look and convey this information between one another. And Asclepius pulls back slightly, and Jacques pulls back slightly, and Jacques like looks at you and goes, I know I've offered this before, and you rejected it then, but I'm offering it again still. Asclepius can help you if you let him.
I I have been. You remember the book you lent me?
Mm-hmm.
I I don't understand magic. I've tried. I've really heckin' tried on that front. It's admittedly a bit of a heckin' magical bullshit, but I really tried on that front, and I got some of what the spell was about, but and she does. There is a tug of a smile, but it kind of drops as yeah, she was trying to even fool herself just for a moment, and she just goes, I can't find where it's gonna go wrong. and she actually looks almost sad, almost you're not quite sure how to describe it, but she has just curled up even more as she admits that. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether it's because I'm incompetent at magic or at being a detective or just something else, but I can't find where it's going to go wrong. And that's something always goes wrong. Every time I've tried to find something that was going to deal with my condition or just in general life, I've something always goes wrong. There is always a good moment, a good opportunity, or something that could be good. And then I try it, and then something happens, and it goes horribly wrong, and someone gets hurt. And I mean, I am fine with myself getting hurt. That is inconsequential, honestly. I have been through enough situations on that front, done enough things to myself on that front. But I'm not willing for you guys to pay that price because it's not your price. I don't want you guys getting hurt because of my idiocy.
There's a pinch between Asclepius's eyes that you know means distress, but he kneels to be kind of more in front of you and also takes your hands and goes, I have done this before. It won't go wrong.
To
If
to
you
lichens, because this Asclepius, I don't know what the pick this is because I've looked into whatever the pick I am and it's not fully wolf. The thing that bit me, I don't pick and know what it was because it wasn't whatever it was way too pick and big to be a wolf, and I don't even know whether it was actually lycanthropy. I don't know what the pick this is. I mean, and she does actually go, and I don't think Lynn's ever properly showed her scar to these guys, but she does yank up her jumper to show it, and she goes, "This pick and bite doesn't fit a wolf."
mm,
And yet there is the reds and the bleached, and yeah, a scar that's never been fully allowed to heal. And she is just kind of looking at him almost slightly frantically, just because she doesn't know what it is. And if you don't know all the variables, and he can tell she is actually genuinely terrified of not knowing.
he reaches up, fully like telegraphing his movement so you can pull away if you don't want him to, but he will reach up and place a rather large, because he's fucking huge and you're tiny, a rather large hand just on your shoulder, on the scar. Feather light, just a gentle touch. He goes, this is not your average werewolf bite, you are correct. But it is still a curse, and I can break curses.
Oh, there is. Finn is, for once, not actually keeping any masks up. She is just staring, and there is the edge of hope. And there is terror, but there is also, she is just looking at you and she trusts you, Asclepius. She trusts you as one of the two most important people, in her opinion, to trust. And yes, the other is also in this room. And she just goes, I am really tired of this curse. I want to heal. I want it gone. I want to stop looking like this. I want to stop shifting like that. I want to stop being a threat, because I right now am a direct threat to a lot of things if I stay like this. And I just want the nightmares to stop.
Then let us help you.
She nods and she goes, it's better than my other methods, and hey, it does beat locking myself in the room for all eternity, so I'll take it.
And reaching up with his free hand to clasp his holy symbol, which hangs from his neck, he will cast Remove Curse on you.
One thing of note, as he does it, Lynn's tail has curled just around Jacques' nearest hand. But there is complete trust in her gaze. And she does, well, what does Asclepius's magic feel like, by the way?
So, Asclepius's magic is it's this deep, rich purple tinged to faint faint gray at the ends, and it feels cold, but not bitingly so. Like an ice pack in the middle of summer. And it brings the scent of freshly turned dirt and um, the kind of faint mildewy scent of old moss.
That is soft. And it's quite frankly incredible. The russet of Lynn's fur stops being russet. It retreats first from her claws, which stop being claws. The caps do fall off. And the russet is chased away by a slowly growing gold. And it travels through and across. And her ears, which have been getting sharper and pointier over time, fade. The sketching shifts. All of her sketching, all of her outline shifts and softens and rounds. And the gold, the russet dies. The russet retreats and blends, and there is just gold, and not just dusty gold, but you two, this is the brightest gold you've ever seen on Lynn, even when she's been happy. And as you do cast, Lynn, she did trust you. She has complete faith in you, but she does close her eyes briefly as though expecting pain, because this curse was a 3-day redesign in the first place, and it burned. And so for this to be cool, that is surprising. And her eyes do open at the end, and you don't see the slit pupils, you see rounded. The very design of her eyes have changed as well. And she blinks. And then she blinks again, and there's a moment of confusion and almost disbelief. And then she just whispers something. And you both can roll a perception on that one.
Absolutely. uh, 8. So that's a 24 for Asclepius. And Jacques is even better, I think. No, his is worse. His is plus 6. Okay. D20 plus 6. Jacques got 11. Skip's got 24.
There is the disbelief and almost slowly rising awe as she goes, it doesn't hurt anymore. The growling stopped. And at this point, she does go to normal volume as her eyes just widen slightly. And for the first time in 5 years, her mind is quiet. A tether that she didn't even realize was there has snapped, and she just goes, the growling stopped. The growling, holy peck! And she does almost throw her hands out, and then she sees gold. She sees her gold, and yeah, there is a smile that is slowly overtaking her face, a grin which isn't fanged, and she laughs. And there is disbelief and joy and wonder and a lot of emotions going over her face as she goes, holy peck! Holy peck! Claws are gone. The growling stopped, and it's not hurting, and and she is just now looking herself over, and she sticks her legs out like really fast so she can actually see her feet, which are both not clawed and not digitrade anymore. They are normal feet, and she is just laughing. I'm gonna need to buy shoes. I haven't had to buy shoes in holy peck.
Now I know that.
Oh no, you go,
I
because
was
she's
just
just
say,
gonna be rambling.
I know that you know this, but I don't think I've ever actually said this on record. Jacques has chronic pain. He
Yeah,
is so happy for you. You can see there is a proud, glad grin on his face, and he goes, "Oh, love," and he will pull you into another hug, like proper bear hug. He is wrapped around. He's basically folded double over you because of the fucking height difference.
oh, she is
Like
taking
chin
that
on
hug,
top of your
and
head and all that shit.
there is Lynn actually hugs back with she always hugs back with her claws or with her tail, but she's always been mindful of her claws. Like when she hugs, she has kept her hands in fists, and she doesn't do that this time. There is just complete. Her hands are just like fisted in the jacket, just like I'm normal. I'm back in normal. And there is something that you guys haven't seen before. And Lynn's gonna live up to her nickname of Pom Pom.
Yes.
And for the first time properly in a decent 5 years, or maybe slightly less than that, because she did have some time before the full redesign took over. But it's the first time in many years there is just a fluff, and she is just the fluffiest thing you have ever seen. And she is just giggling.
There is a slight sound of surprise from the both of them before you hear Jacques murmur like in awe under his breath, "You're softer than Asclepius."
The
And
fluff,
like you
if
felt
it could
Asclepius.
get
Asclepius' fur is so fucking soft. It's like velvet. You're soft as hell.
the fur, if it could get any fluffier, just does. And it is the brightest gold. I mean, literally the brightest gold you have ever seen her. It it's almost glowing. It's so bright. As she hugs Jacques, and then also she is reaching with her tail. It's just like, Asclepius, you're getting whacked with her tail because you are also getting pulled into this hug because you've done this.
He will go willingly. He will absolutely go willingly. He's also very happy for you.
She grabs him. It's one of the few times where she's actually actively grabbing someone. Actually, she is so happy. She has completely forgotten her fear of her claws because her claws aren't a thing anymore. And there is just the biggest smile. There are even slightly tears because this is incredible. This is everything she has wanted, and she's got it. And there is one thing of note, that if they can see her, because she would have kept, well, her jumper is off because she would have done that for this to work.
Mm.
The scar that's always been this deep, almost ready to glow red, and the bleached white around it. It's the scar's still there, but it's now just a few shades off of her gold. It's brown, and it's still there. It's still a part of her because it was a part of her, but it's now a lot more subdued and a lot easier to ignore. She's finally moving on. She's finally healing. She's ready to grow.
Uh, there are no words. I feel like this hug does go on for a hot minute.
Yeah, this hug for as long as these guys are willing or okay, because she will back off the second that these guys start showing that they're like, okay, this is enough hug time. But yeah,
Are you fucking kidding me? These two
yeah,
are like the embodiment of love, my dude. You're not fucking getting out of this hug. You kidding me?
yeah, they're spooky grandparents. They are filled with love. There is one moment when she does it, and she is just like, every now and then, just like thoughts coming into her head of things that she's gonna have to do, like buy shoes, figure out, just like figure out different. She actually realizes, holy peck, I can go to movies. I can actually go to movies now. I can go into the market. I can go to the mall. I mean, heck it, my hearing has been atrocious for the past couple of years. It has been physically painful to go some places. I'm going to be able to go places again.
There is like full on Asclepius is giving like fur care tips, by the way. Like the best conditioners to use and all that shit. Yeah.
Oh, she's going to be taking pecking notes. She's just like, she does squirm in the hole just a little bit. She pulls out her gosh darn like notepad, and she just like sits in the lap, just fluffy as you like. Her tail is probably whacking you guys in like a couple of times because it is just waving everywhere. She is not controlling it as much as she normally does. as she's just making notes of different things. I probably should reconvert the room. I mean, okay, I actually need to figure out where I'm going to sleep again. Yeah, I gave Ryan my room. I wasn't using it. Yeah, I'm going to have to. Can I put a bed in the office? I'll put a
No,
bed in the office.
do not. I will
Okay.
have Rye tell us if you put a bed in your bloody office, and I will go there myself and drag you out. And like Asclepius is giving Jacques a look like you're a fucking hypocrite, but I totally agree, so I'm not gonna say anything.
It. I mean, I've slept in the room or I've slept in my chair for the past 5 years. Or every now and then, like Rye does drag me to bed because he worries and he admittedly does have nightmares, and so I stay there and check on him, and then I admittedly do nod off. But where am I going to put the bed? Because I'm not putting it in the pecking room anymore. The room is going to go back to being storage. Hey, but yeah, I need to figure out where to put a bed. Ooh, hammock. And she's just yeah, she is now just trying to figure out where, because yeah, okay, if she's gonna get dragged out of there, she'll figure something out.
There's
Also,
also an offer made of we're aware you're no longer a werewolf, but the Lycans were still interested in meeting you, and I know that some of them have other things that they could train you in, if you'd be so willing.
huh, well, I am gonna need to replace what was going on because I still have a job to do, and I still need to have use. And yeah, I think I'd like that. What's the worst that can happen? Wait, no, don't jinx it.
Well, the worst that could happen over here, you get thrown to the floor a lot. They tend to be a lot of rough and tumble.
I've taken worse. I mean, heck it, I've fallen off a few roofs in my time. I'm sure I can take a few hits to the dirt.
You can see the moment of we're not gonna question it, we're not gonna ask pass between them.
Yeah, if Lynn ever gets talking about her case stories, there are probably going to be a few heart attacks of, ah, yes, the time I fell off a roof, the time I jumped into a gang fight of like 50 people and came out of it somehow alive, and many other stories that she probably shouldn't say because they're just like, she thinks they're normal. They're really not, you stupid monkey.
Jesus Christ.
We have no idea how this monkey has survived this long. We have no idea.
Luck.
Yes, luck, possibly divine intervention at a few points, possibly just plain, yeah, luck. But she doesn't need to be lucky anymore. She's got support, she's got help, and she's going to learn more. But she does actually turn in the grasp and go, hey, Jacques,
Mm-hmm.
um, I've said before how I don't get magic, but, well, you get magic, and Asclepius gets magic, and my son, well, hopefully son, I still need to do the adoption forms for Rye, and I'm going to get those done and sorted. And even my Pekin house knows more magic than me. Can you? I don't want to take up your time, but do you think I could learn magic, even just a little?
Of course. I'd be delighted to teach you.
And Lynn smiles because she's like, I am going to learn Pekin magical bullshit. Hey!
God. I don't I don't think either of them have ever heard that phrase from you before, aside potentially in the corn maze. So again, there's this moment of no, we're not gonna ask.
That is the living thing of this monkey, isn't it? It's just look at the monkey. We're not going to ask about the monkey.
There is a brief moment where Jacques leans out of the hug to summon his unseen servant, who goes downstairs and then comes back upstairs with a tray of like soup and fresh crusty bread and some butter and some other miscellaneous food items. Cause you're fucking hungry, probably, and they're hungry, so it's food time.
Lynn doesn't actually remember the last time she ate. She just perks right up at that.
Did she say that? Does she actually say that in character?
Yes. She does mumble it a bit, but she does just say absent-mindedly, because, yeah, she's used to monologuing to herself.
You don't even need to roll insight. You see the alarmed looks on their faces, and they're like, "Wah, no, you need to eat. You're eating right now. No. we're not having that go on."
It's fine, I've had coffee. It's fine. I mean, coffee solves a lot of problems.
Asclepius is going to lean over again and cast protection from poison on you, because they've smelt your coffee, and they have no doubts that it's just gotten worse. Where's that? There it is. Yeah. You have been protection from poisoned.
There is. Lynn may have ever so slightly had just a little bit of eye bag left, and it just goes and she goes, "Yeah, admittedly, I did lose count of the shots. I'm pretty sure it might have been a poison at that point. I mean, I'm pretty sure it did stain stuff. It's fine."
That doesn't sound fine.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty sure while we're here, networks might possibly potentially be destroying the rest of my stash. So
good.
And I'd like to imagine there is just a very small smash cut over to Network, who is having the time of their life. The coffee maker is dead.
Good.
The coffee maker has been exploded. And there is just the very happy humming in the background. And then we just cut back. It's like, it'll be fine. But I think I might be going off the coffee for a bit. Because, yeah, I think I'm gonna try different drinks for a while. Just, yeah. No more coffee for this monkey.
Asclepius opens his mouth, and you can see Jacques look over like, "Don't you dare." And then Asclepius continues anyway and goes, "Well, I do grow my own tea. I could, give you some of that."
Woo! Lynn has perked right up at that, like, you can make tea?
Yes, I grow it. I have a garden in the back.
Yeah, she is definitely taking you up on that offer, because it's just like, spooky grandparent tea. That must be cool. Okay, whatever it is, she doesn't entirely know, but she wants to try it now.
Yeah, there's various different strains. The graves make for good fertile soil, so different strains for different families.
I must have misheard it. And she does look up at Jacques, just like, is it graves?
Jacques has his head just buried in his hands, like, "Yep, my husband makes tea from dead people."
You know how they've been having the look at her and going, "We're not going to address this." There is that very much moment of she just stares at Jacques, stares back at Asclepius, and then she does the thing that she normally does with the coffee. She grabs the soup and she just takes a chug instead. Just like, nope.
I mean, there's orange juice right there.
Who has time for that? There is time for soup.
Oh my god. It is good soup, by the way. It's like, the, like, homemade chicken soup made with, like, love and a secret ingredient, and it just tastes so good. That.
Oh. Yeah. Her fluff might have been just slightly calming down. It fluffs up again. You guys have got face full of just, like, the fuzziest monkey Pom Pom ever. I need to get back into making things. I can try baking again. I mean, I did bake for a little bit. I mean, you were there for the last baking stuff. But oh, I have got so many things I'm gonna try again. And take a break. I think I need to take a break.
Let me put it this way. If you don't take a break, I have a feeling that Rye will sit on you.
He's a tiny little kid. Then again, the kid does have stink cloud. He has threatened my office with that a couple of times.
He's also a druid, is he not?
Yeah. Oh,
Has he
heck
not
yeah.
used wild shape?
No, not
Hmm.
not yet.
Hmm.
What does that do?
You'll see. And like they, yeah, they have the facial equivalent of the fucking colon open or colon close bracket smiley face.
Oh yeah, Lynn's just gonna clock that and just go, okay. Right, that's something I'm gonna have to look forward to. Okay.
Yeah, it's slightly strange how Asclepius manages to pull it off so well because it is a very toony expression, but he does it.
Oh bless. And Lynn laughs. She is confused, but for the first time she isn't scared of being confused. It's just this is just things, this is family. And she's going to enjoy taking these chances, taking these opportunities, these moments as they come, and she's going to learn how to heal and learn how to be a toon, how to have these shenanigans, and perhaps even be part of them. Yeah, she's going to learn how to use glitter again. She is going to use she. Eventually, these guys are going to get a prank that is just glitter, and it's going to be her.
Oh, you don't want to prank the mayor and his husband of Halloween Town. Halloween Town's like one of their main exports is pranking materials. Do you really want to go up against that? Do you really want to do that to yourself?
I raise you this. Have you met this monkey? Have you met this reckless, dumb monkey who makes very poor life choices?
Like they'll send a note in advance to apologize to Network because they're not getting glitter out of that for like at least a year.
Network likes glitter as well. It's sparkly.
That's adorable. Yeah,
One thing I do have a question about.
Mm.
Lynn would have left the door open when she came into the foyer. I'm presuming that Manor and Network will have had at least a little chat on that front.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Oh God.
there's definitely some tips being passed on to Network about how to curtail certain bad habits that Network is not fond of based on Halloween Town's own experience with well everyone that lives there, but especially Jacques and Asclepius.
Oh God. There are going to be shenanigans.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I think that's a good place to zoom out, honestly.
indeed. Lynn chugging soup with family.
Yeah.
This was so soft.
This was very
This
soft.
was so soft.
This is very soft. But literally and metaphorically. This was great. I'm very glad we did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lynn's gonna have a whole new arc now if she's gonna figure out how to heal and how to be Pom Pom again. It's gonna be great.
No more relying on shifting to be intimidating. I'm just imagining her like stalking a criminal and trying to turn more wolfy to like scare the bejesus out of them, and then instead she just puffs up more.
Yes, that's what happens when she tries to be intimidating now. That's just what happens. She just poofs.
I'm so glad. That's such a good mental image.
It is.
Yeah. Well, thank everyone for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we did.
It's great. Woohoo!
Yeah.